Israel.
Shalom.
For the camera. So we're gonna go over this. We're gonna go over this class that Corey been requesting for like the last 3 years, right? So we're only gonna go over part of it because it's a pretty long class. For the brothers and sisters in class, we got the PowerPoint obviously on the screen, and then we'll edit everything into the video. All right, so first things first. All right. So what are we going to be going over? 2nd Esdras 11 and 12. All right, 2nd Esdras 11 and 12. The rise and fall of ancient Rome and prophecy is what you can title this class. All right, so I need somebody to. We're going to go to 2nd Esdras 11, and we're going to read because the vision is given in 2nd Esdras 11, and then the breakdown of the vision is given in chapter 12. So I need somebody to go to 12, and we're just going to jump down to verse 7. Read verse 5.
Look at 2nd Esdras chapter 12 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
Lo, yet I am weary in my mind, and very weak in my spirit,
Go ahead.
and little strength is there in me. For the great fear wherewith I was affrighted this night. Therefore I now beseech the highest, that he will comfort me unto the end.
Go ahead.
And I said, Lord, that bearest rule, if I have found grace before thy sight,
Right.
and if I am justified with thee before many others,
So this is Ezra speaking. Go ahead.
and if my prayer indeed be come up before thy face,
Go ahead.
comfort me then.
He said, do what?
Comfort me then.
Go ahead.
And show me, thy servant, the interpretation and plain difference of this fearful vision.
Right. So you can imagine Ezra getting this vision or this dream, and then waking up and saying to himself, "Man, what the hell does this mean?" Wouldn't you?
Okay.
You got birds with feathers talking to other feathers, right? We didn't even get to the part with the lion, right? We didn't even go through all that yet. But just imagine you having dreams of birds and their feathers speaking to other feathers, and you're seeing this vision, but you don't understand any of it. So he said, "Look, show me some comfort. Give me the understanding, because that's what understanding does. It gives us comfort." Right? The scriptures say, "Get wisdom, but with all thy getting, get understanding." So this is what Ezra is asking for. He's asking for the interpretation of the dream. Go ahead.
That thou mayest perfectly comfort my soul.
Right, go ahead.
For thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last times.
To do what?
Thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last time.
Right, so the one thing Ezra did understand is that this dream was pertaining to the last times, the latter days, right? So, let's see. So now he's going to get the explanation of the vision. What verse are you at?
Verse 10.
Go ahead.
And he said unto me,
Go ahead.
This is the interpretation of the vision.
So now we're going to get right into it. Go ahead.
The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea
Go ahead.
is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
Go ahead.
But it was not expounded.
But what?
It was not expounded.
But what?
But it was not expounded
Go ahead.
unto him.
Right. Go ahead.
Therefore, now I declare it unto thee.
Go ahead.
Behold.
So before you go on, what is this referring to in Daniel? And I think we went over it. Everybody in here in class went over this chapter in Daniel. What chapter is it? Is what? Right, so Daniel chapter 7 goes into what? The different beasts representing the different kingdoms. Right? So, read on.
Verse 13. Behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth.
So let's just deal with Daniel 7 real quick. So it's letting us know here in Ezra that this beast that he saw in this vision is the beast from Daniel, the 7th chapter. So who is the fourth beast in Daniel 7? Who is it? Actually, what's the first beast in Daniel 7? Anybody remember?
The lion.
The lion.
The lion, right? Which represented who? Yeah, you can cheat.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Babylon.
Babylon, right? And what's the second beast? I can just look at the screen. It's all good.
Bear.
The bear, which is what? Persians and Medes, right? Or Persia. What's the third? Greece, which is the leopard, right?
Mhm.
And so what's the fourth?
Rome,
Which is what?
the dragon.
The dragon, right?
Mm.
So read Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 7.
Mhm.
After this, I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly.
Go ahead.
And it had great iron teeth.
They had what?
Great iron teeth.
Come on.
It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it.
Right, and so we're gonna go in and show, stamping out the residue, the diversity, why this beast was so different from all the ones that preceded it. Because there's certain characteristics. Now, we're already understanding that these beasts represent what?
Nations.
Nations. So it's gonna show us why this nation or this fourth beast was so diverse from all others, right? So we do understand that the fourth beast is what? It's right there on the screen. I made it easy for y'all, so we don't have to sit here all day.
With the dragon.
Right, or Rome, right? Or Rome. All scholars hold that these beasts are nations. So we don't have to guess, right? We don't have to guess about it. So let's see. So let's look at this fourth beast, right? So we got the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire. They start to come into power in approximately 227 BC and come into full power in 27 BC. Right?
Yeah.
They were diverse because they were ruled by democracy. Right? Kingdoms before them were ruled by a monarchy. So, for instance, the Egyptians, they had a monarchy. They had one pharaoh that ruled, where this new Roman Empire, this Greco-Roman Empire, they had a Senate. They were voting men in, right? Step forward a little bit so she can see. They were voting men in, not you, right? So their government system was set up a lot different. And a lot of the government practices that the Greco-Romans held, they're held today, like the Senate. That's where it all began. Now people go out in America and vote for their local senator.
Gone.
Right. So, or democracy, Republican, Democrat. Right. So we see that a lot of these things are still held on to in this modern day Rome.
Con.
Right? Because that's what it is. Right? So what else about it? Dreadful, terrible, strong, exceedingly. Why? Because of their military. Right? They said that they would stamp out the residue of the people. Their military was immense. Right? They had legions, and what they were going to do was they were going to go out and conquer. And conquer is what they did. The Holy Roman Empire was vast. It spanned it all the way from what you know today as Great Britain, all the way through the Mediterranean, all the way down into Africa. Remember, the last few Egyptian dynasties, Egyptian kings, were Romans, right? They were Romans, and the Romans controlled parts of Africa, parts of Ethiopia, right? So their spread was vast. What else? So did we go into what verse are you at in Ezra?
Chapter 12 and verse 13.
Right. And you're in
Daniel 7 and 7.
Daniel 7 and 7. Read verse 8.
Verse 8. I consider the horn, and
You said I did
behold,
what?
I considered the horn,
Right. Go ahead.
and behold, there came up among them another little horn.
Right. So the horns. What do horns represent in the scriptures?
Power.
The horns represent power. Right. So this is what we have to understand, that this second Ezra and Daniel, they link up with Revelations also. What is it? Revelation 17, I believe, where it talks about the beast and the 10 horns. 17. Right. Is Revelation 17 and verse
12.
12.
Yeah.
Read 17 and verse 12 in Revelations.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 12.
Go ahead.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings.
Or what?
10 kings.
They're what?
10 kings.
Right. So 10 horns equal 10 kings. Right? Or 10 kingdoms. Now, this is dealing with the same dragon or the same Roman Empire. These 10 horns would be 10 tributaries that would help out and fund and help this Roman army, this Roman Empire to conquer, right? So, have you heard of the EU, the European Union?
Con.
Right. Today it's called the ECC, the European Economic Community. They changed the name, right? But it was made up of a few countries. So I just put down the first few, the first ones that joined. Let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, so it was just these first 5 in 1957 that joined the EU, and then a few others joined afterwards. But you got Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands and West Germany. So what these tributaries do is they would pay, right? They would fund this beast, right? And when you get funding, what are you able to do?
Go to war.
Aren't you able to go to war?
Yeah.
Aren't you able to wage wars and fund whatever exploits? Yeah, that's the point. So these 10 little horns is how this beast was able to maneuver through the earth. Right? Who got that? Who has that breakdown with the 10 horns? So we can get the other 5. I didn't put them in here. Anybody got that?
Well, I don't know.
I'm gonna get it real quick.
But it's Revelation 12.
You said what?
12.
No, it's Revelation 17.
Oh, 17.
17 verse 12.
Right. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't remember them off the top of the head. Should have wrote them down. But that's what the 10 horns represent. All right, they're tributaries that help to fund this beast. Okay. So let's go to 2nd Esdras 12 and verse 13, because what it's doing is it's foretelling about this kingdom, the rise and the subsequent fall of this kingdom, or of a kingdom. So all we got to do is just take the prophecy and match it up with history, right? Which would be our history, but will be Ezra's prophecy. So read verse 13.
Look at 2nd Esdras chapter 12, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth,
Right.
and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms.
Right. So when it says that this eagle rose from out of the sea, it's talking about a nation coming up out of the people. Remember, the sea represents the people in certain contexts. So that's all they're saying is what Ezra was seeing in a vision. The angel is now expounding it in plain speech. A nation was going to rise up from amongst the people. Go ahead. And it was going to be feared. It was going to be more dominant than all the other kingdoms. See that? Kingdoms that rose up before it. Go ahead.
Verse 14. In the same shall 12 kings reign.
And in the same, so in this same kingdom, 12 kings were going to reign. I know you're probably thinking, well, that could have been any kingdom. The Egyptians, well, we passed the Egyptians, right? Well, how we know it's not America? They got 40 something, 50 presidents, right? Well, there's some key things that the scripture said would happen that actually happened. One of them is hard to get around. One of them is so hard to get around. I've seen people try and it's rough. So what is verse 14 saying? That 12 kings should reign one after another. That's all it's letting us know. Right? So let's talk about the 12 Caesars. You can sit for a minute. Let's talk about the 12 Caesars. And let's see if these 12 Caesars match this prophecy. You probably say, oh, it's just 12 men. Just 12 guys, right? It's 12 dudes. So who do we got? We got the 12 Caesars. We got Julius, Augustus, Tiberius. And we're going to get more in depth, right? Just naming them off: Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, Nero, Galba, Otho, Vitellius, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian.
Galba looks like Putin.
Who?
Galba?
Galba, right? Them Edomites are the Edomites, right? Just looking real Edomitish, looking real dragonish, devilish. And some of these men were devilish. Some of these men were straight up devils in their community. They were devilish to the people. Their rules, some of them were just straight tyranny, murder, death. And then some of them, it wasn't so bad, right? But remember, the prophecy in Ezra said what? That 12 kings would raise up. Now, this is key. So, let's deal with the first one. Who was the first Caesar?
Julius?
It was who?
Julius?
It was Julius Caesar. He was the first Caesar, right? And his official name, Gaius Julius Caesar, but better known as Julius Caesar. So the thing with Julius Caesar was that he was a little different than all the other Caesars. He was a general and a dictator. Now, what was different between the dictator, him, and the other Caesars? What were the other Caesars? Anybody know? What their titles were? They were Caesars, not all of them, but they went by something. Starts with an E.
Sorry.
Think about it. Think about like democracy, right? It's more democratic, this title, as opposed to
Emperor?
dictator, huh?
Emperor?
Emperors, right? So Julius Caesar was the only dictator out of these 12 kings, right? So let's get a little history on him. Born the 12th or 13th of July around 100 BC. Died March 15th, 44 BC. Okay? He ruled from 46 to 44 BC, so he wasn't that long of a reign. He got 2 years, right? He got 2 years. Now, some of the things that he's known for, he expanded the Roman rule in Europe. Because remember, what was the main thing about this kingdom? They were to go out and conquer, right? One of the things that he did is he installed Cleopatra. Remember we were talking about Cleopatra a few days ago? He installed Cleopatra on the Egyptian throne. He actually had a baby with her. And there was this whole debacle, right? And what he did was, man, it was wild. Cleopatra was basically married to her brother, who was the Egyptian king, but that was her husband, and they're fighting for the throne, and then she takes him out. It was wild, man. This guy Julius comes into the picture, has a kid with her. It was a lot of drama, right? With these, you're gonna see there was a lot of drama with these Caesars, right? There was a lot of drama with these Caesars. So, you know, you could always do your own research. And what I do want to do is take the time, and what I wanted to do before I did this class was actually take the time to go into each Caesar and just get like a history on them. But this is going to suffice. I mean, you don't need to know so much about him, right? His assassination led to the collapse of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire, right? So one thing about him was he appointed himself as a dictator for life, right? He was a Roman general. He was going through conquering, and he said, you know what? I'm just going to be dictator forever. Kind of like, who's a dictator that you know has appointed himself forever? Name one right now.
The Asian guy, right?
Huh?
Oh,
The
yeah.
China guy?
Yeah, Kim Jong-il.
Yeah.
Who else? Huh?
That dude Putin.
Putin?
Yeah.
Who else? Netanyahu.
Oh yeah.
Benjamin Netanyahu. Right? He ain't going nowhere. He been running Israel for years. Right? The rulers in Iran, the Ayatollahs, they don't step off the throne until they die, and they hand it down to their son. But they rule as dictators, right? So he also introduced the modern Julian calendar. So there was a calendar system that they were using, which was based off of, I believe, the sun. He introduced a calendar that was based off of the lunar, or I might have that backwards, right? But again, when you get your chance, just look into it. Look into the Julian calendar, right? Look into that for me, Shaddad. Well, he basically switched up the calendar system on how they were calculating days. He added a leap year. There's a few things going on. He was also a very studied man. He was a historian. He wrote books. He wrote poems. So these men were men of war, but they also took their leisure time to their education. Right. So I'm gonna go to the next one.
Oh, so it says it was so the Julian calendar introduced by Julius Caesar
Right.
in 45 BC is a solar calendar.
Right. So he went from the lunar to the solar. Go ahead.
That was the primary calendar in use in most of the world for over 1,600 years.
Right. And then he added he took away some days. He added the leap year every 4 years. He made a few changes that, guess what? People still deal with today.
Oh yeah, it says that here.
Go ahead.
It says, it is characterized by a year of 365 days with a leap day added every 4 years,
Right.
resulting in an average year length of 365.25 days.
Right. Okay. See that? So the things that these men did way back in history, man, hey, modern day Rome is still rocking it today. It's like it's the same people. Right? A famous saying, I came, I saw, I conquered, is attributed to Julius Caesar. Vini, Vidi, Vici. I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm sure that's Latin. Vini, Vidi, Vici. I'm saying it wrong. I know I am. I came, I saw, I conquered. He said that when he was in the midst of a battle. He went to go battle another leader, and he beat him so quick. He said, I came, I saw, and I conquered. And then rolled out. 10-minute battle, right? 15-minute war. Got him out of there, right? So let's go to the next guy. Or let's understand something first. What is a dictator versus an emperor, right? We got to understand what's the difference, because if he's the only dictator and the rest of the 11 guys are emperors, well, there's got to be an understanding. If his death ushered in the Roman Empire and got rid of the Roman Republic, then we got to understand the differences. So these are the key differences. Origin of power, right? Dictators seize power, so they go out and they conquer through war, while emperors typically inherit or conquer their position. So it's like when you look through history and you see the pharaohs, they inherit through inheritance, the heir of the throne. You see that in Israel. We had heirs to the throne in the southern kingdom, but in the northern kingdom, what was going on for a time? It was being ran more like a dictatorship, where men were killing for the throne.
Yeah, whoever took out the king was the next king.
Yeah, whoever took out the king was the next king, right? But we're going to see in this Roman time, in this ancient Rome, the throne was being set up for the next man before the first man died or was assassinated. You had people promising the throne to this son or that son. Make sure you put my son in there. And we're going to see it. A lot of these people were related. So the throne, the power was inherited through succession, right? So that's one key point. The nature of rule. Dictators often rule with absolute unchecked power. So you run in the government, you run in the military, the finances, the religious system. You see that? That's what a dictator, he has control over all those different elements of the society. While emperors may have more established systems of governance and legitimacy, meaning what? I'm the emperor, but then I still have, I have a general of the army. He runs the army. Does he check in with me? Of course, right? But he controls the army. the religious system. There's a high priest that runs the religious system. I'm the emperor over it all, but I have men in place that run these different systems. There's a secretary of finance, somebody that does the finances for the city, right? There's these different positions or these different offices that are set up underneath the pharaoh. So that's important. Oh, wait, I'm going back. Right? Scope of rule. Dictators rule a nation or a state, while emperors rule over the empire, which are typically larger and more diverse. So that the Roman Empire wasn't just Rome, because the empire was so vast, it went outside of Rome. Again, it went into Africa, it went into Great Britain, went into the Mediterranean, right? It was crazy how big the Holy Roman Empire was. So, the dictator, he only has the state or the nation because that's how far his rule goes. But an emperor, everything he takes in war and in conquest now becomes part of the empire and he rules over it. Right? Y'all see that? So those are the key differences. Let's go back to 2nd Esdras 12. 2nd Esdras chapter 12 and verse 15.
Look at 2nd Esdras chapter 12 and verse 15.
So we went through one king so far, quote unquote, dictator, quote unquote, Caesar, right? And he ruled, how long was it?
2 years.
It was 2 years. Now, this is one of the key things to this prophecy that makes it work. Read 2nd Esdras 2 and verse 15.
Wherefore the second shall begin to reign, and shall have more time than any of the 12.
He should have more time than any of the 12. So, who do y'all think the second Caesar is on the list? Anybody know?
Was it Augustus?
It ain't Little Caesar. As long as y'all ain't talking about pizza. No, I'm just like,
Augustus?
right. It's Augustus.
No,
So this is Augustus Caesar or Gaius Octavius Augustus. Augustus Caesar Gaius Octavius, right? So remember, they had these names, but then sometimes they would change their name, or sometimes they just went by Augustus Caesar, but they had a longer name, right? So he was the first Roman emperor. Remember, Julius was a dictator. The Republic has fallen, and now they're an empire, and so the first Roman emperor is Augustus Caesar. Right, born September 23rd, 63 BCE, died August 19, 14 CE, Common Era, right? He ruled from 27 BC to 14 AD. That's about 40 years, right? Give or take. I got this in there twice. Don't worry about that. 40 years. I want y'all to note it. I want y'all to note that. I want y'all to note 40 years on the ticker. Right? He's the adopted son of Julius Caesar. He's the adopted son of Julius Caesar. A lot of what was going on is I'm having an affair with this woman because her husband, or I'm dealing with another man's wife because he's dead, but she already had a kid with him, and so they believed in adoption. They would adopt that son under the name, and that's how he got the name Caesar. Gaius Octavius is his name, but then he took on the Caesar part of it for Julius being his adopted son. But they're not actual blood relatives, right? So he's the adopted son of Julius. He began the Pax Romana, Roman peace, which lasted for approximately 200 years. So next man, Tiberius Caesar, right? So he's considered the second Roman emperor, born November 1642 BCE. Died March 16th, 37 CE. Right? He ruled from 14 to 37. So a lot of the times you'll see that these guys' rule date is actually their death date. Because that's how they get taken out. Right? So what was he known for? He was the stepson of Augustus. The stepson of Augustus Caesar. I don't think we brought him up yet. We'll deal with it. Known for military accomplishments and administrative skills. So his reign was marked by his reclusive nature. So there was a time in his reign when he got into his later years that he literally just went and hid out in his house. He wouldn't come out. He didn't trust anybody. He got very paranoid. Right? He got very paranoid. Some historical accounts portray Tiberius as a paranoid and tyrannical ruler. Right? So, but we did talk about Augustus, right? Right. So he was the stepson of Augustus. So you see this stepson. Right? None of these guys is like blood related, which is crazy.
So
What's that?
were they not doing their whole, like, I'm pretty sure Augustus had probably a blood son, right?
Yeah, but what was going on was there was when you go deep into it, it's like I'm going to show you about, I believe it's Nero, right? Again, where even though they have blood sons, I got me a new wife, and she wants her son to be king.
So they would favor.
So now I'm going to put her son above my son.
Dang.
They were doing that. We're going to read about it. Right? And then some of these guys didn't have their own children. Right? Caligula Caesar. Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus Germanicus. That's his whole name. Yeah. But he's known as Caligula. Right? I mean, there were movies made about this guy. Right?
Oh,
The movie Caligula.
that was about him.
That was about his rule. That movie was so crazy. That movie, they had to get adult actors to play in that movie
Oh,
because it was on that level.
Oh yeah, no.
The sexually explicit nature of him, because that's what he was on. Remember, the scriptures say, "As the ruler of the people, as the king is, so is the people."
Officers.
Right, as the king, so is the officers. So when this man ruled, it was crazy. Right? So let's see what we got with Caligula, Caesar. Notice they all have this Caesar at the end of their name. So he's the third Roman emperor. I keep saying empire. Third Roman emperor, born August 31, 12 CE. Died January 24th. 41. He was 28 years old, right? So a lot of these guys weren't even that old, right? They were young. Ruled from 37 to 41 AD. So you see how he just picked up?
And he was from Italy.
Right, he was born in Italy, died in Rome. Yep. Ruled from 37 to 41. So if you do that math,
So
that's only 4 years.
Okay.
Nobody is going to have a longer reign than the second guy, like the scripture said. Watch when we get into the year of the 4 kings. You're going to be like, wait a minute, this is crazy. Right? This is crazy. Known for extravagance and cruelty, right? Assassinated by his Patriot guard. So he was killed by the own people that were supposed to protect him. He was set up. Because this is where now other men want the throne and they paying people off, right? This is that Game of Thrones that we watched. Some historical accounts accuse him of incest with his sister, Drusilla. Yeah, that name Drusilla sounds very familiar because you read that in the book of Acts. Drusilla the Jewess, she was Agrippa's, Drusilla was a common name. But Drusilla was Agrippa's daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Right? But Drusilla because I believe his mother's name was Drusilla. So Drusilla was a common name, like some of these other names, right? So let's go to the next guy, Claudius Caesar. Tiberius Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus. Damn near the same name as Caligula, right? That Germanicus. Because remember, some of these guys are taking on the name of the person that is putting them on the throne, right? They're taking on that family name. So it wasn't uncommon.
And it was taking on the hairstyle.
And they was taking on that crazy hairstyle. Nasty work, right? So he's the fourth Roman emperor. He ruled from 41 to 54, right? Born August 1st, 10, died October 13th, 54. He's Caligula's uncle. He's Caligula's uncle.
Caligula was the last one?
Yeah.
The 28-year-old.
So was he Augustus' brother or?
It don't say. I didn't look into that part.
Is he Italian? He's from Italy?
I didn't get his birthplace.
Okay.
But none of that matters.
Okay.
None of that matters as far as because it could have been on the mom's side. I didn't look, but do your homework. You can look into it, right?
Commissary.
He completed the Roman annexation of Britain. So to annex, that's what we're dealing with right now with Russia and what country?
Ukraine,
Ukraine. What are they trying to annex?
your resources.
No, they're trying to annex a part of their country, which is what? Or they've already done it. Crimea. Right? Crimea? Y'all heard of that? Have y'all heard of Crimea? Okay, it's something for y'all to look up, but it's a part of Ukraine that Russia has annexed. They have reclaimed that land. So that's what he was famous for doing. He went out, he basically conquered Britain and took it into the empire. Right? That was his claim to fame. Remember, a lot of these guys were generals before they were even elected to anything. They were used to going out and fighting wars. Right? He was an accomplished historian. The thing with him was he was born with a form of cerebral palsy. So they said. So for a lot of his life, his family rejected him because he was limp. He'd be walking around drooling. Runny nose. He couldn't control his body. But then when he came into power, it was weird because a lot of those ailments started to disappear. Yeah. A lot of those ailments start to disappear as he gains this power. So they were like, maybe he faked it. And I guess they were saying also that he admitted to faking some of it. Right? He was married unsuccessfully 4 times. I think his first 2 wives were killed or they died. One betrothal was ended. Yeah, a lot going on with these guys. He died under suspicious circumstances. One of his wives was super cruel. And basically, she was like one of those women that she wanted to set things up for her children and for herself. But they're saying that she fed him a plate of mushrooms. Yeah, and he ate them. And some say he died that way. Some say his doctor killed him. When he ate the mushrooms, he wasn't all the way dead. And he shoved something down his throat and killed him. Got him out of there. So it's kind of like, which one happened? Folklore type situation. Nobody wants to pin it to one person, right? But he died under suspicion. They still haven't figured it out. Next guy, Nero. Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus. Nero. Right? He got that crazy beard at the bottom. That is wild. He got the A Lincoln. He got the, what is that called? The chin strap.
He got
Ain't no-
he
it's
got
not on the
chin
chin.
strap,
Right,
with a
it's-
butt chin.
it's below the chin.
Yeah.
He got an under chin strap. This is nasty work right here.
Where the hair don't grow right.
Yeah, it's great. You got the hair that comes out. And it's bald on his actual butt chin.
Oh man.
Nasty. 5th Roman Emperor,
It's like the butt chin is the sign of authority.
right?
Mm.
A butt chin and a big nose. Born December 15th, 37 CE, died June 9th, 68. Ruled AD, so he ruled from 54 AD to 68 AD. So do that math. Right? How many years is that? It's 8, right? 6? What is it?
6. I don't know. Numbers is confusing.
This is AD. So just do the math. This is AD, so you count up now.
All right.
14?
Yeah,
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
This is AD, so you count up. BC, you count down. AD, you count up. What does BC stand for?
For the common era.
What does AD stand for?
After that.
Anadonai,
After
year of our Lord. Not after death. No. It's crazy. Like BC before Christ, AD after death? No, before Common Era, that's what you have. Or BC before Common, or it's BCE before Common Era. Yeah. Appointed as heir by Claudius, though not his biological son. Why was he appointed heir? Because his mother wanted him to be an emperor. So some say that when Claudius, the man before Nero, he started to change his mind about putting someone on the throne that wasn't his son, she killed him with those poisonous mushrooms so that he couldn't change his mind.
I believe it.
So that's why they say, oh, it was a suspicious death with the last guy, right? The other Claudius, because the wife was pressuring him to have her son as an emperor. So remember, he's not his biological son, right? Appointed as heir by Claudius, though not his biological son. Claudius had sons. He had his own sons, his own biological sons. But this woman pressured him to put her son. She had very ambitious ideas. She was a very ambitious woman, very ruthless woman also. Her name was something the Young. I forgot her name. Not important. Nero, known for cruelty and tyranny. Right? He persecuted Christians. Now, remember, we're now in the ADs. So we're dealing in the times of Paul, Peter. This is after Christ, right? Christ was circa 1 AD to 33 AD, 3 AD to 37 AD, but he didn't go past 40 AD, right? So at this time of Nero, men are facing heavy Roman persecution. The Christians, or what you would call first century Christians, not these church fathers, but it would be a Paul, a Peter, a John, right? A lot of the apostles were destroyed and killed under the rule of Nero. Y'all see this? Yeah, so persecuted Christians. Blamed for the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD, which was, there was a huge fire that went off, and people blamed Nero because he was very egotistical. And so they said that he burnt down Rome so that he could restructure it in his own image. Let me burn everything down and rebuild statues, rebuild monuments in my name, rebuild all these different things in his name. He was very egotistical. Extravagance and debauchery was what his rule was about. So let's understand something about these men. How many men have we went through so far?
5.
How many?
5.
Right. So these 5 men, They're known as the Julio-Claudian dynasty. The Julio-Claudian dynasty. So what you have is, you have two families that literally came together and said, look, we're going to put men on this throne. So all those men, did you notice something about their name? Julius and Claudius was in their names. Not all of them, but the majority. Julius, and Claudius. Julius Caesar, Claudius, they were two families that came together. And this right here, the photo in the background is kind of like the family line. But you see the Julians, right? Genus Julia, and the Claudians, genus Claudia, right? And then these two families would merge through time and appoint men. And they formed this dynasty to control Rome for a while, right? So let's look at it. The Julio-Claudian dynasty. The Julian-Claudian dynasty was the first ruling family of the Roman Empire, encompassing the reign of the first 5 emperors: Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, and Nero. Okay? This dynasty lasted from 27 BC to 68 AD. So how many years is that? Let's do 68 plus 27. What you got?
21 plus
95.
60.
95. 27 plus 68, I believe, is 95.
So that's how long this whole
That's how long these five
together.
this Julio-Claudian dynasty lasted. 95?
89.
Oh, 89? Oh, okay. What? Really? 68 plus 27?
Oh, my fault.
Ooh.
You got the
Oh, my
calculator.
God. I know, I did it in my head,
Said 21.
but I thought I was tripping.
Yeah.
Right. So 95 years of these two families ruling as emperors in Rome. That's significant. You had time to do a lot of different changes. You had time to add to the empire. You had time to, if you wanted to just keep it filthy, you can keep it filthy. But you could see where, even though these two families were in cahoots, they weren't necessarily the best of friends, because they wiping each other out for this throne.
Market News in the capital.
The name combines the genes Julia from Julius Caesar and the gens Claudia from Tiberius, signifying their connection to these influential families. None of them now this is crazy. None of them passed their power onto a natural born son. Because when it's two families and I'm promising you this and you promising me this, hey, it ain't gonna work out the way I want it to work out. To keep control, to keep things going, right? And if we're in this thing together, hey, my son might not be able to get on the throne, right? So that's what was going on. So these 5 guys, right? So let's move on. So this is crazy right here. AD 69. This is a year before what?
70, 80.
Right. So this was a crazy time in Roman history. AD 69 or 69 AD. It was called the Year of the 4 Emperors. And you guessed it. They had 4 emperors in 1 year. Now, how could that happen? Oh, well, you know how that happened. Somebody wanted that throne. Men was fighting for that throne. Right? So let's look into it. The four emperors would be and we're gonna go over them. Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and Vespasian. Vespasian's a very significant name, right? Because he had something to do with 70 AD. Vespasian was the Roman general that helped to destroy Jerusalem. Him, Vespasian, and then Titus, his son, finished the job in 70 AD, right? So following the death of Emperor Nero, characterized by rapid changes in leadership amidst evil strife in the Roman Empire. So there's a literal civil war going on up in here, right? Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and Vespasian. These are the four emperors known for the year of the four emperors. And down at the bottom here, you can see where that's the provinces that they ruled, right? They all had their own little areas. So you can see Galba, what does he have? He got the Iberian Peninsula, Spain. Otho, he controls various lands, Greece, some Romania, it looks like lower parts of what would be called Russia today. Vitellius, what does he have? Some other parts of Western Europe. And Vespasian, yeah, you see what he got. Vespasian got damn Israel. You see that right there? He got Israel, man. Right where it says Mediterranean. He got Jerusalem. He got Alexandria, Egypt. Those are significant places on the map. So that's what Vespasian controlled, right? And this is him. This is them right there. Right, but y'all can see this fine, right? Okay, just make sure. So, characterized by civil war and instability. So Galba, let's deal with Galba. Right? Ruled, said because this is going to go into their actual ruling times. So he started his rule in June 8th of 68, and it ended January 15th of 69. So he was the first to die in 69. June to January is how long?
6 months.
6 months. My man had a 6 month, almost to the day rule. Like 6 months and a few days off, right? Born December 24th BC, died January 15th AD, 69 in Rome. First of the year of the four emperors. He was the first. His ascension marked the end of the Julio-Claudian dynasty. He was known for financial reforms and efforts to restore discipline in the Roman military. Otho, right? Born AD 32, died April 16th, 69. Right? Ruled from January to April. How long is that?
4 months.
Man, 4 months. Got out of that Passover. Out of there. So January to April of 69. Right? Second of the year of the four emperors. He was the second one. Right? He orchestrated a plot with his Praetorian Guard to assassinate Emperor Galba. So he assassinated the emperor before him using the emperor's guard. You know, pay him off a little bit, gift destroyed the heart. Mm-hmm. Right? Again, a lot when you watch like the show Game of Thrones and you look at Egyptian history, a lot of this stuff they got from Egyptians, man, just kill it. Like the Egyptian throne, they was just murdering each other. Like with Cleopatra. Remember, Cleopatra's father dies, and he had so many children. The children start to kill each other for the throne, and then she marries her brother, and then she kills him for the throne. So her brother was her husband that she murdered, and then she banished her sister to another country. It was crazy, and that's just dealing with like Cleopatra, but that's in this Egyptian reign for a time. It dealt just like this. Even when we read about the Northern Kingdom, I think we said it earlier, but the Northern Kingdom, you had kings that was just going through and wiping out a whole bloodline, right, of kings and their descendants for that throne. Otho was a close associate of Emperor Nero and even married his mistress, Papia Sabina. So you can see where men would, like a man dies, another man would take on his mistress. But then if she has children, she's gonna want things done for her children, because the women back then, again, if you're watching like Game of Thrones, what was Joffrey's mother about?
Joffrey being on the throne.
She was about him being on the throne and having that scepter. So a lot of these women, they were about their son having power, because if their son had power, they're good. That's mama. Mama get to chill. Mama get to, and especially if he was young, it was almost like she was sitting on the throne.
Exactly.
Because she would be his advisor. She's spitting in his ear. She's orchestrating things on her son and her behalf. A good show that you can watch, like even pertaining to this Roman, is called The Borgias. It's called The Borgias. I forget what it's on. But the Borgias, Caesar Borgia, but it goes into that family, and it goes into like the Pope, the papacy, and all these different power struggles, and how the women was sliding, man. They were setting things up. They were setting men up. They were setting up situations, right? Getting people killed. So, but we see it all through history. A lot of these men were assassinated brutally. I believe Julius Caesar, he was assassinated in his court. On the way to a meeting, they ran up on him and just hit him with that jailhouse.
Oh, the shank?
They just shanked him up.
Oh,
Yeah. It shanked him up like old boy in American Me.
It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu? Yeah, it's on Hulu, The Borgias. It's actually a good show. So he married Nero's mistress, right? Guessing after Nero's death. Although he was popular with the people. One of the things he did that he was commended for was that he committed suicide to avoid civil war. So he's going to war with the next emperor. He gets defeated and he just takes himself out and says, you know what, I'll give up the throne, you could have it, basically. And it avoids a civil war, because remember, they're fighting for the throne, these four men. So he's number 2. So number 3, Aulus Vitellius. Oh, he's a fat bastard. Now, this is crazy, because you're going to see something about him, right? Now, he was winning wars. Don't get it twisted. He's a fat boy. But he was out here winning wars, man. He beat up on Otho. And he's the reason why Otho committed suicide, because they go to war, he defeats him, wipes out his army. But then Otho says, you know what? Ain't no use in trying to hold on to the throne. Let me just avoid this civil war altogether. So Aulus Vitellius, born September 24th in 15, died December 20th, 69. Right? Hey, can you go check for me? I think I was right as well. He's the 3rd emperor in the year of the 4 emperors. Cruelty and lack of popularity is what defined his reign. Right? His reign was so bad, they did something called Damnatio Memoriae, meaning they wiped his reign from the record for a time.
Dang.
Yeah, they wiped it from the Roman records. They were like, nah. It's kind of like what the Egyptians did when the Hyksos reigned way back, but during the times of Joseph and after. They kind of struck that from the history books, because who wants it on their walls that someone else reigned in your country? Right? But this man obviously was so terrible as a ruler that they erased him from the history. Right? His reign was officially erased from Roman records by the Senate, a practice known as Damnatio Memoriae. This is in Latin, so excuse me for my lack of Latin transliteration. Lifestyle marked by hedonistic overindulgence and rampant gluttony. I mean, you can see the little 3rd chin that he got in his bolster. You can see like the extra neck that he's rocking. And every depiction of this dude, he's just big as hell. He's a fat man, right? He on a horse, fat, bigger than a horse.
Oh.
Lifestyle marked by hedonistic overindulgence and rampant gluttony. And you know the thing with a lot of these guys, they didn't start out the way they ended. They started out one way, being a senator, being fair, but then what happens when they get that power? That overindulgence, when you got everything at your leisure, bruh. Defeated Otho in the Battle of Bedacarum, Otho committed suicide. Right? We read that earlier, or we looked at that earlier. Overthrown by Vespasian. Right? Now, Vespasian is a very important figure in Roman and in Israelite history. So we got Vespasian, Titus Flavius Vespasian. Right? Titus Flavius Vespasian. Flavius and Titus, those were common names. The book of Titus, Flavius Josephus, right? This is when we start taking on these Greek names. You see that? Remember, Josephus was an Israelite. But in the times, Titus was an Israelite. But they start taking on Greek customs and they start taking on Greek names. So Vespasian, or Titus Flavius Vespasianus, right? Born November 17th, 9 AD maybe. They're not 100% sure. His death though was June 24th, 79. So he's the last of the 4 emperors for the year 69. And he manages to make it out of 69, right? Ruled AD 69 to 79. Fourth year, or number 4 of the year of the 4 emperors. He ended the Civil War. So you can see why he was the one that lasted, right? He's the founder of the Flavian dynasty. He initiated major building programs, including the Temple of Peace, the restoration of the capital, and most notably the construction of the Flavian Amphitheater, later known as the Colosseum, which is where what?
Oh.
They were fighting.
Yeah.
So what?
Gladiator.
Yeah, the gladiators, right? So he's known for, he started to build it. He passed away before it was complete. But good thing is, he started his own dynasty. Right? He started his own dynasty. So what does he have? He has a son.
Right.
Led the Roman invasion of Britain in 43 and suppressed the Hebrew rebellion in Judea. Right? Because remember, we start to rise up in 70 AD, 69. Remember, we're a vassal state to the Romans. We start to rise up, and what do? They put their foot on our necks and they destroy the temple.
Yeah.
They banish us out the land. 70 AD is accomplished. The scriptures are fulfilled according to those prophecies. And we off into Deuteronomy 28 territory. Curses and slavery. Come. So you know there's a special place for this Edomite. There's a special place in history for this Edomite.
That's crazy.
Rebuilding morale and restoring order. So these are the things that he was known for. Known for his witty and down-to-earth personality, even making jokes on his deathbed. Right? So let's deal with the Flavian dynasty. We got to understand who these men are. So it's basically going to be the last of the 3 emperors. You got Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Right? First Jewish-Roman War, Vespasian and Titus led the Roman forces in war, which culminated in the destruction of Jerusalem. A Roman imperial dynasty that ruled from 69 to 96. Right? So they're responsible for banishing John in Revelations to the island of Patmos. Yes. They're responsible for a lot of the Israelites in hiding. Letters going out, but we in hiding.
The
Right,
Flavian, the Flavian dynasty?
Yes.
Sounds for that?
Yes. Right? Because remember, Vespasian and Titus, they initiate 70 AD. And so their dynasty lasts all the way till 96 AD. Right? And so there was a lot of persecution underneath these men. This period followed a tumultuous year of the four emperors and brought stability back to the Roman Empire after a period of civil war. The Flavians are known for their administrative and building achievements, including the Colosseum and the Arch of Titus. Right? So, Titus, Flavius, Caesar, Vespasianus, Augustus. Right? This is Titus. Right? This is Vespasian's son, Titus.
That Trump?
This is crazy.
Look at he looking like Trump, man. Look at that man. All these dudes was just nasty with it. Right? But yeah, that's Titus.
Not our Titus.
No. Born December 30, 39 AD, died September 13th, 81 AD. Ruled from 79 to 81. So he didn't have no long rule, man. He had 3 years. 3 years, son of Vespasian, second emperor of the Flavian dynasty. He was known for generosity and benevolence amongst the people. Successful succession and political stability. Completion and inauguration of the Colosseum in 80 CE with 100 days of spectacular games and spectacles. What is that?
The Olympics.
The Olympics. And if you understand about the Olympics Games were held all through the different provinces of Rome and Greece. Corinth was one of those places where the Olympic Games was held for a while. So now when they build this Colosseum, it becomes the central place for the Olympic Games. Right? So you have the Olympic Games and you also have what they're doing there, which is all the battling bears and gladiators and men going at men. But this is what he ushered in. 100 days of spectacular games and spectacles. Conquest of Jerusalem and the destruction of the Second Temple, 70 AD, bringing the first Hebrew-Roman war to an end. Remembered for his handling of the aftermath of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79. So there's this enormous volcano in Italy that erupted, and it literally destroyed a lot of the Roman Empire that it was surrounding.
Did a Pompeii?
Yeah, I think it destroyed Pompeii. It destroyed a few other provinces, but he's accredited for the way he handled it. His rebuilding, settling the people. If you look this mountain up, I didn't put it in here, it's immense. It's crazy. This volcano, it looks wild. Mount Vesuvius. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right? It's not even a volcano about to. Right? So now we got Domitianus Caesar Augustus. So you see how they went back to that Caesar name? Paying homage to the forefathers. Right? Yajika, you like that? He was born in October 24, 51 AD, died September 18th in 96 AD. So basically, when he died, the dynasty was over. He ruled 81 to 96. Now, I hope y'all are doing y'all's math, because who lasted more than 40 years? But didn't the prophecy say that the second would last longer than all the other 11?
Kinda.
I mean, bruh, if that ain't right, the younger son of Vespasian and the brother of Titus. See that? So this is the dynasty was Vespasian, and Titus and Domitian. These were his sons. It says he was known for strong administration skills, but he was autocratic, meaning he didn't take no talk from nobody. He kind of went back to like being a dictator, like Julius Caesar, right? He went back into that dictatorship where I know I got a senate, I know I got the high priest or the pope, I got these different things, but I ain't dealing with that. It's what I say, iron fist. So he was kind of looked down on for that. Also, there were talks of like treason, that he was committing treason against the empire, right? Criticism for his autocratic style and suspicion of treason. He was assassinated, and that ends the Flavian dynasty. His death ushered in the Nerva and Tony dynasty, and they took over. So another dynasty takes over after Nerva and Tony. So you can imagine that's two families, just like the Julian Claudian dynasty,
Yeah.
right? Because that's how they were able to get power, man. They had to sync up these different families, because you might have controlled the Senate and you might have controlled this, but if we sync our powers, now we can control everything, right? So keynotes. What did we learn? What are some of the keynotes? So let's go back to 2nd Esdras real quick and just start at verse 7. And this is all we're going to cover today because it was a lot. Right? It was a lot for me. But it was enough for y'all to go back, look at names, and do research.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you wrote down the names, you can go do your own research. All I did was throw in like, what is Julius Caesar known for? Boom. It'll take you right to the Britannica. A lot of this came from the Encyclopedia Britannica Online. Right? That's my source. I just went to the encyclopedia. I hit Wikipedia, and then I hit a few other articles just to make sure, like the dates. But for the most part, it's not going to change according to the different historians. What they did is what they did.
Right.
Right? So keynotes. 2nd Esdras 2:12 and 7 through 11, the vision is being explained. 12. So we're dealing with the 12 winged feathers as 12 Roman emperors. Augustus' reign was the longest of the 12. We learn that when it says that the second will reign longer than all the others. AD 69, the year of the 4 emperors, Galba. You don't have to write this down. Y'all got this. Galba, Otho, Vitellius, Vespasian. Right? So go back to 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras, but this is the thing. Come over here a little bit so they can hear you. Because a lot of the times I got to turn the volume. So read 2nd Esdras 7. 2nd Esdras 12 and verse 7 real quick.
2nd Esdras chapter 12 verse 7. And I said, Lord, that beareth rule.
Right.
If I have found grace before thy sight,
Come on.
and if I am justified with thee before many others, and if my prayer indeed be come up before thy face,
Go ahead.
comfort me then.
Right. So Ezra is asking for that comfort to be able to get the understanding of the vision. Go ahead.
And shew me, thy servant, the interpretation and plain difference
And plain difference. Go ahead.
of this fearful vision,
Make it plain for me. Go ahead.
that thou mayest perfectly comfort my soul.
Read.
For thou judge me worthy to shew me the last time.
Go ahead.
And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision.
Go ahead.
The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea.
Who is the eagle, class? The eagle is Rome, and it's also the beast from whose vision? From Daniel. Good job. Go ahead.
Is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
See that? So that's the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
But it was not expounded unto
It
him.
wasn't expounded unto Daniel. So Ezra is getting it expounded. Go ahead.
Therefore, now I declare it unto thee. Behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth.
Right. So this eagle out of the sea represents a kingdom rising up in the earth. Right? Go ahead.
And it shall be feared above all the kingdoms.
Remember, what does the eagle signify? And whose banner is the eagle? Well, then doesn't it go back to Alexander, the Greek? Right? Doesn't it go back to him? And him, it says he conquered the known world in 12 years. He flew that banner of the eagle. Right? And then that banner, that eagle, that symbolism was handed down from the Greeks to the Romans. From the Romans, who has the eagle on their $1 bills, on their money?
It's America.
Good old America. Right?
I was gonna say Mexico.
Good old America. Right? The eagle is their symbol. It's the symbol of the USA. It's the national bird, right? You can't harm an eagle. They're protected. Yeah, it's a symbol of speed. It's a symbol of, remember, if you look at the characteristics of an eagle, it's about oversight. It's about speed of attack. It's strength. If you've ever seen one up close, yo,
it's big.
yo, it's not what you thought it was.
Yeah, that wingspan.
That wingspan is crazy, and that thing is lifting deers up. Okay, and that's the bald eagle. You got the golden eagle, which is not as, I believe it's not as big, but it's still pretty big. I mean, the talons are crazy.
Yeah.
They wrap around, right? Back in the day when you was in grade school, they used to bring them to the school. I remember this. They had the bird start flapping its wings in the lunchroom. Bruh, you could feel it like AC. But it's a strong, powerful eyesight. One of the things that an eagle is known for is what? It's vision.
Yeah.
They can see from miles away a target, right? And they lock on, boom, grab it, right back up in the air. So all these things is what the Greeks, the Romans, and now America, they use this animal to symbolize the things that they're about. Come on, America's all about wanting to see everything. Big brother. Satellites from up in the sky, piercing down miles away. Into what? They could literally, you watch the show Eagle Eye?
God.
Right? You watch the show with Shia LaBeouf? You watch the show Enemy of the State?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've been on lately. Because
Will Smith.
Right, with Will Smith. I've been on those lately. You know why? Because it's telling you what America was about. And you thought back then it was just a movie. And now you like, damn, they're using GSM chips to track people? Yeah. They were showing you that in these movies. But notice, Eagle Eye was the name of the Shia LaBeouf movie. Because they want to be able to see everything. Shows like Big Brother, right? Where they got cameras, they call the government Big Brother. Cameras, the eye in the sky, right? So that's what we're understanding, is that this eagle, it just represents a people, right? That we're going to rise up. It was a kingdom. Go ahead.
That were before it.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
In the same shall 12 kings reign, one after another.
Right, and it said that these kings will reign one after another. Come on.
Whereof the second shall begin to reign, and shall have more time than any of the 12.
Who was the second?
Augustus.
Augustus, how long was his reign?
40 years.
40 years. I think the closest to him was who? Somebody had 14?
Yeah, 16 or
Yeah, 16 or 14. I forgot exactly. We were doing the math. Who was it?
I think it was Vitellius.
Vitelli? Okay.
I don't know.
But think about it. That's half the time. This man had 40 years. A 40-year reign. That's like what Solomon had. 40-year reign. Right? You get a lot done in 40 years.
Nero had 14.
You know,
Yeah, Nero.
Oh, it was Nero?
It says 14 years.
Okay. But that's the point. You had some guys that have 14. You had some guys that had 6 months.
Nero had
Nero.
I thought
Well, Augustus was 40 years,
Uh-huh.
and then Nero was, because you had rule AD 54 to 68. That's 14 years.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, but that's the point. It's still half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sits right there, right inside the prophecy. Right? What verse you at?
We're in verse 16.
Go ahead, read verse 16.
And this do the 12 wings signify.
So the 12 wings signified 12 kings, in which one king was going to rule longer than the other 11. And so we went through the 12 to break that part down. So we're basically going to stop it right there, because then we're going to go into the other part of the prophecy where we hear the voice from the bird speaking, but not his 3 heads, but from the body. And we're going to go and break all that stuff down, and go in that way. One last part: the Roman Empire matches the prophecy of Daniel and 2nd Ezra.
Man.
I did it for Corey.
Yeah.
I did it for Corey. We'll get him. Anybody else? Huh? Okay. Y'all sure? Yeah, all you gotta do is just plug in a name into the good old Google machine. It's gonna give you all the info. It's gonna give you all the info. So I guess with that, we'll just end it. All right, we'll end class with that.
What was I gonna say?
What we gonna say, class?
Shalom.